Ella, thank you so much for joining me on this thing's on. Really nice to chat with you, especially after our little meet at Kendall Calling. We were just chatting, weren't we, off air about that festival. I saw you there as we're recording the weekend just gone, but amazing set from you. Loved seeing you live for the first time. But did you have a good one there?
Yeah, I it's probably one of my favorite sets that we've actually played like ever. Um, I was just really surprised by the turnout and like I think the crowd were amazing. I thought the band like absolutely smashed the set and I really enjoyed it. No notes, no notes.
I like that way. I like that stage you were on as well, the Woodland stage. It's quite a cool little stage, isn't it? In that Woodlands area.
Yeah, yeah. It's so cool. Like I don't know what it is day to day. I imagine it just stays there, whatever it is. Like it looks like some kind of like building or like a sort of shack, but it's bigger than a shack.
Yeah.
I love playing there and I love playing in the woods as well. I think it was very on brand for me, being from Yorkshire and spending all my time, outside of music in the woods or in nature.
It was quite kind of quite fitting then, really.
Hmm. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I think that's used as like a deer park or something away from the Kendall Calling Festival, I think.
Ah, that's so cool. Where do they put the
Yeah.
deer? Like when
Well, that's a good
the
that's a
deer
good
go?
it's a good question actually because after it was funny, because after I saw you, I went straight over to the Libertines set and it was Pete Doherty on stage at that point. He was saying, at a beautiful festival like this and a beautiful site, where do all the rabbits go when the festival's on? So it's a good point, isn't it? Really, but I think it's a really great festival, isn't it? Kendall Calling. Was
Yeah.
that the first time you'd played it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First time playing it. I'd been before. I think Snoop Dogg was headlining a couple of years ago, and he was really late for his set. Looked like the coolest guy ever, and just immediately styled out the fact he was so late for his set. I loved it.
That's just true Snoop Dogg style, I guess. But no, it's a great festival, and great to see you there in what's been quite a busy 2026 for you so far, Ella. Because I want to talk to you about the newest single, "False Start," soon. But of course, you had a debut album out earlier on this year as well, "At Home in My Mind," which I love. It's one of my favorite albums this year. So just tell me a little bit about that, and I bet that's still feeling, really fresh, even though you've released new singles since.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a rush, like releasing an album. I'd wanted to put one out for ages, and I just felt like it was, going to be, I knew it was going to be this collection of songs that felt like vulnerable and about my mental health and all about me and my kind of like, I don't know, my dreams and the things I want and stuff like that. And I wanted it to be a sort of like timestamp um, in my career where I kind of, I'm still got like a little bit of growing up to do. And putting it out, I feel like I've aged about 5 years or something. Just because so much has happened, but in a good way. I think like it's definitely matured me and it's focused me on, what it is I want to do with my career and stuff. And the response has been unreal. Like, like I said, it's a very vulnerable and um, quite an intimate album about me and the struggles I have. And the title track is all about trying to live with myself and live in my own head. And doing the tour and meeting the fans and things like that, I just got a real sense of what music can do for people and what my music can do for people. Um, which is weird because, I wrote half of these songs in my bedroom and then someone else is listening to it in their bedroom. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like I sort of mentioned the other day, it feels a bit like a weird kind of emotional walkie-talkie, like
Yeah.
one-sided walkie-talkie. But yeah, I'm glad it's connected with people that, that means more to me than anything else, really.
And I can really imagine so as well, and especially like at Kendall, I saw, when loads of people are singing the lyrics back to you about these songs that you say are very personal to you. I bet that just feels amazing, when you look out to a crowd, whether you're playing your own gig or a festival, and there's people singing lyrics back.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always wanted to be a musician and I've always wanted to be a performer since I was like this big. But it took me a really long time to figure out what it is I actually wanted to say because I think it's fine wanting to be a performer, but if you want to be a musician, you kind of have to figure out what your voice is. And mine just seems to be taking this shape of like being honest and truthful about, um, you know, how I'm feeling and my experiences. And, you know, this feeling like I'm alone in the world, a lot of the album is like kind of reflective of that, but putting it out and then playing it to people and then singing the words back to you, it's like, actually, I don't think I'm as alone as maybe I initially thought, if you know what I mean.
There's going to be other people, isn't there, that a lot of people have gone through similar things, so they'll obviously resonate with the songs and the messages that they hear behind them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it's obviously it sounds like it's very personal. And you said there it all came together. Was it quite quickly then putting the album, a quite quick process putting the album together?
Yeah, I mean, I'd had a couple of days in the studio with a producer called Tim Malkin, who was amazing. But I knew that I wanted to record the album as a whole with Joel, who I'd done the EP with. And we had like literally 10 days in February to like pull it all together. And it was sort of like, I don't know, like maybe a bit of a diamonds cooked under pressure kind of situation. Because we were just flying through all the songs. And it was a really fun process. I think next time, with my next album, I would like to kind of do the opposite and spend a lot more time on it. But yeah, I think the pressure of it and the speed of it definitely weirdly helped with the sound of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sometimes it's almost good. I think going in at the deep end. I think.
Yeah, I think not panic, but just like this kind of energy that was coming across, this reaching out and a hand reaching out to people and almost like, I don't know, like I suppose not desperation, but just kind of like, does anyone else feel like me? That kind of energy. And yeah, but it was a really fun process recording it. I loved recording with Joel. Um, and yeah, he's brilliant.
And like you said, the response has been amazing, and and you've been out on the road a lot. I think did you do a tour before the release as well last year, and then a tour just after it as well? And you've played a lot of festivals, so I imagine it's been quite fun playing the album live out on the road as well to all of your fans. So, what have been your favourite tracks to play live to an audience, whether that be because of how personal it is, or maybe because of the reaction that you've seen from the crowd when you've played it.
I think The World Is Not an Oyster. I love playing that one live. Because I started out as this acoustic sort of ballad and then the band join in and it just feels like this sort of cathartic, triumphant feeling like by the end of it. I love playing that one and the band sound incredible. I think God Help Me Now as well, like just, purely because of the life that it kind of had before the album came out. Um, it's the song that everyone sings along if they're going to sing any of them. And just because of that life that it's had, it's just become this really, really. It was always special to me, and from the day that I wrote it, I knew it was going to be special. But it's sort of every year it gets more and more special. It's nearly, I think, like the 2 year anniversary of me releasing it. Or was it 2026? Yeah, like I think it's like I've released it on the 8th of August, 2024. So yeah, it's been nearly 2 years. But yeah, it feels like that one's going to be with me forever. And knowing as well, I think when I've done both the tours, I sort of do an encore where I don't really do an encore. I just stay on and the band walk off, and I'd do some
Yeah.
acoustic tracks to sort of round up the night, which isn't kind of the done thing. Most people kind of save the biggest hits for the end and like kind of want to end on a high. But I don't know, there's something about, for me, I just wanted to try ending on this more personal and vulnerable note where it's just me on a stage and you can hear every time I cock up or every single like little flaw and every bit of emotion is just there, and I'm presenting it to people and for them to connect with. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
knowing I'd performed that one last, just me and an acoustic, and yeah, that one is a really special moment, I think, when we play that one live.
Because that's like an authentic feeling, really, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think there's something scary, but also quite real about not having anything to hide behind. Like the band aren't there, so if I mess up, it's kind of part of the performance as much as getting it right is, if you know what I mean. And I love that. I love kind of doing things that scare me. I think it's good for you.
Stepping out of the comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for us all, isn't it, from time to time to do things that we're not usually comfortable with. But no, it's an amazing album, and
Thank
it's
you.
it's a massive thing, a debut album as well, isn't it? Because for an artist to release that debut album, it's just like a massive chapter in your career, really, isn't it? Because a lot of artists and bands start with releasing EPs, but I think once you get that album out, it's such a big thing, isn't it? It's
Mm,
like a whole body of work.
yeah, definitely. And I think I particularly didn't just want to put out like the best of Ella so far, kind of as the first album. I wanted it to still be a bit conceptual and at least feel like it all makes sense together. Just making it was a lot of fun, and it's made me want to make another one or 10. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say you've not stopped at that album because you've been busy and you've been releasing singles, even still in the same year after releasing your debut album, which is of course the brand new single "False Start" with Kai from the guest list, which I absolutely love, Ella. So can you just tell me a little bit about this and a little bit about how the collaboration came together too? Because I think it's a song. I think your voice and his voice just matched the song perfectly. And I imagine that's something you kind of felt too, when you first came together to collaborate on this track.
hmm Well, I'd been wanting to do like a duet for ages, like with someone, and I wasn't sure who it was going to be. Um, like a male female duet, because my voice, a lot of the time, apart from sort of when I jump the octave in a lot of my songs, like my voice is quite low. So I was sort of looking for a male voice that was maybe a bit higher and something a bit kind of, I don't know, a bit Morrissey, or maybe a bit of a Tom York or something. Like I was just kind of looking for that kind of playing with, I don't know, masculinity and femininity and gender in like the voices. And then I heard Kai's voice. I thought his voice was absolutely amazing. So I messaged my publisher asking if they could reach out, see if he'd want to do like a writing session with me. I wasn't sure what we were going to write about. I had like this idea that I'd sort of written. So it was the verse and sort of hook line of the song, but it was different and wasn't anywhere near as polished. And I just took that to the studio and I met him that day, and we wrote the song in like probably about 8 hours, um, from start to finish. And the version that came out, I think, is literally just what we made like across the 2 days that we met. And yeah, it was amazing. He was such a great person to write with. He writes very differently to me, and I thought that was really interesting and fun to experience. I'm very much, let's keep the chords the same all the way through the song and just focus on the lyrics and melody. Whereas he thinks a lot more. He's got a lot more interest in like how can we make this chord sit nicer underneath this melody, and
Yeah.
just like tackle the writing a little bit with a little bit more detail. And I really like that about writing with him. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
So was that the first time that you'd met him as well when you went into the studio with the track?
Yeah, yeah. So I went in with like just an idea, and we sat down this idea that I've got and see if you like it. And I played him it, and immediately he started sort of playing guitar along with what, and we was just sort of jamming. And Joel, who produced it, was on drums, and we just literally sat jamming for ages. I said, like, "Do you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, this is great." And we'd sort of written this song about kind of like feel like that right person, wrong time thing. Um, and not necessarily in a romantic way. It might be that like there's just someone in your life that you feel like you struggle to communicate with for whatever reason. And we both talked a lot about conceptualizing it and storytelling and how are we going to make these two voices kind of sound like they're not in a relationship because but they're in their own relationships kind of thing, and they're doing,
Yeah.
they're going through something. um and it just gives it an alternative perspective. But what I really like about that song is that it still works as a song when I sing it on my own, because obviously I can't have Kai with me all the time, unfortunately. But I actually got to play it with him at Festival this
Yeah.
weekend just gone, which was amazing. I loved that.
No, that's amazing. And like I said, it's the two voices, your voice and his voice, both work so well together. And so is it like almost each voice represents a different person then that's going through something?
Yeah, so my voice is kind of saying one thing, and then his voice is saying what the this voice kind of thinks that other person's thinking
Mm.
almost. Like, I don't know, I just kind of like that when I perform it alone, the voices are kind of like, I don't know, when you're in your, maybe you're having an argument with your partner or whatever, and you kind of make up their what they're thinking. You're like, oh well, you probably think this, or you probably perceive this in this way. But yeah, it's sort of a bit of a call and response and a conversation between two people, I suppose. But yeah, it was really fun writing it, definitely.
And do you almost like feel like, obviously you've just explained to me there what the track's about. Do you feel it kind of almost follows on the theme of that kind of vulnerability that you had in the album as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think I try and inject as much vulnerability and truth in all of my songs because it's something that means I feel like I can perform it. I think if we just written a love song, for example, or a breakup song that I don't know didn't feel authentic or like an experience I'd had, I just wouldn't be able to perform it with any kind of truth. Whereas I think with this, knowing exactly what it means and what it's about, and like I'm attaching it to sort of an experience of my own. Um, I think the truth in the performance kind of comes out, and it means, I don't know, it's more believable as well.
And I imagine it kind of slots into the live set nicely as well.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been. I mean, the reason I wanted to release it this summer is because um, I felt like the live set just really needed a little bit of salt and pepper. Like it just needed a little bit of like zing and pep, and it's this upbeat indie song that's really fun to play at like festivals and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been so fun to play. We don't play it exactly how it is on the track when we play it live, as you know, because you saw it the other day. We like sort of do this extended version where I was hoping that eventually people would catch on that we do that and like, start a mosh pit. So that like build bit kind of builds into like this bit where everyone just kicks off and starts dancing. But we haven't had a mosh pit yet at an Ella show. I don't really know if you can class it as a mosh pit when it's like indie pop music, but um, here's to hoping one day, maybe.
So if people are listening to this and coming to an Ella show soon, it's a call for the mosh pits to start coming out.
Yeah, open it up.
Yeah, splitting the middle of the crowd, a big
It was just me with
circle.
an acoustic guitar. Love that.
Well,
Uh,
hopefully you might get that soon because you're heading back out on the road again, Ella.
mhm,
In November, you're playing
mhm.
3 dates in Leeds, Manchester, and London. So, how much are you looking forward to getting out on the road again and playing all of these songs to an audience?
I mean, I'm so excited. I've been playing a lot over the last couple of years and to play to my own audience, the people who are supporting me and, are there for me and for the music rather than, I don't know, there's something really fun about supports because you kind of sat there convincing everyone this is really good, like I promise. Whereas,
Yeah,
headlines are just you're right at home. And I'm really,
people better that, aren't
excited.
they?
Yeah. And I'm really excited to get in a room with all the Ella Club, as I call them again, because they're all really amazing people.
The Ellur Club, I like that, and I imagine a big one for the Ellur Club is the show in Leeds as well. With it being in Yorkshire, which is the closest to home for you. I imagine playing a show in Yorkshire is always a special one.
Yeah, definitely, especially Leeds. I love Leeds. We played the Brood now in I think it'll have been the November DEP tour last year, and that was insane. So I'm excited to play Stylus because that's a bucket list like venue for
Yeah.
me. I supported Star Sailor there a few years ago now, um, and I think it might have been the biggest show that I'd played at the time, and I was just like, this is insane. Like if I ever headline here, like I'm doing something right. So
But yeah,
it's
a little bit
crazy.
full circle. Yeah. And I imagine you're excited to get back out and play these headline shows in November, like you've been talking about. But also, you're supporting Cortinas as well at the end of August, which I imagine you're looking forward to as well. 'Cause I know Liam Frey's been quite a big fan of your music, hasn't he? And I saw him share the song with you and Kai the other week too after its release.
Yeah, Liam Frey, like being a fan of my music actually blows my mind. I saw the Cortinas at Leeds Fest when I was about 16, and it like just changed my life. This is like
Yeah.
such a weird thing. That weekend actually we've got like a bit of a dream weekend because we're doing like the Cortinas support on the Thursday. Friday we're supporting the Streets
Yeah.
at Rock and
Yeah.
Roll Circus. Saturday we're going over to Holland to do a festival in I think it's Eindhoven. And then Sunday we'll be at Wakefield supporting the vaccines. So I'll need a very, very big nap that week after that, I think. But I'm very excited.
That's amazing. And I bet it's amazing to, play on the same bill as some of these names. And, obviously you did the Cribs as well
Hmm.
recently, Millennium Square, which I imagine was a special show. So I imagine it like feels amazing to be playing on the same bill as some of these acts that, you've probably idolized growing up.
Yeah, definitely. It's a feeling I don't think I'll ever get over, to be honest.
So it sounds like it's all busy in the world of Ella then, and like we say, back out on the road in November. What's coming after that? Is it back to the writing? I know you said you want to do another album or 10 even.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already writing my second album. I think we're probably about halfway there with the writing.
Ah,
And I'm sort of in between everything else. I'm going down to London um, every couple of weeks to write with my collaborators that I collaborate with, and I'm writing, on my days off and stuff. I think I'm at a point in my life and my career where I'm really excited about learning and just growing and trying to, every day I'm sort of trying to figure out who I am. Aren't we all, I guess?
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like I just don't really want to stop at this point because it's, I'm doing this full time now, which I've been working towards for the last, nearly 10 years of my life, trying to do music full time. And I'm very grateful for it and I don't take it for granted. So, yeah.
it's amazing you've reached that point though where you can do it full time as well.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work all sorts of jobs on sort of viral videos that I've ever posted was of me right before I'd gone to do a cleaning job when I was a cleaner. And I rolled out of bed, and at this point in time, it was just before the God Help Me Now release, and I was posting like 5 times a day on TikTok. And I posted this video of me singing God Help Me Now on my acoustic guitar. I played the like rhythm of it kind of wrong, um, and my voice sounded really husky, and I hated it. I was like, it's all I've got today. I'm just gonna post it. And yeah, it's ended up being like the most views I've ever got on a video. And I've like got my hair's like out here and like I've got like no makeup on. But it's just the way things go, I guess. But yeah, I used to be a cleaner, gardener, barista, waitress, all sorts. So I've loved all of it. But I'm definitely very glad to be doing music full time now.
Now full-time musician.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's great that you've reached that point where you can do it full time, and I can't wait to see what's next for you, Ella. But thanks so much for chatting with us again. Really appreciate your time, and just remind people on where you're playing and the dates of the tour again.
It's the 13th of November in Manchester at New Century Locker. It's 14th of November at Stylus in Leeds and the 20th of November at Bush Hall in London.
So call for people to get the tickets now,
Yeah,
and yeah, Ella, thanks so much
thank
for
you.
chatting again, and hope I can catch you on a tour later on in the year.
Yeah, mate. Hopefully, I'll see you there.